The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Guys, welcome back to a very special episode of Probably Podcast. First and foremost, we have the most gorgeous angel, just wanna, you know that TikTok sound where you're like, I want to do that to our guest today, Anna Grace. I miss you so much. I love you
so much. I love you. I'm so happy to be back.
Guys, this is a really exciting podcast. First things first, Anna Grace and I have so much to talk to you about. So much. We have so much to recap. You can't even imagine. We literally have 6 podcast episodes worth of just like catch up to do with you guys. And every bit of it is fucking hilarious and funny and giggly, kiki BFFs. But we don't have time for that. That's not what this episode is about. Okay. This episode is going to be really cool because, well, first of all, we're women in STEM, AKA Courtney. Courtney's a woman in STEM. Producer Courtney has found a way. We are, I don't know if you could know this, Anna Grace, this is the 3-year anniversary of our most iconic episode, Trip of a Lifetime.
Our 3-year anniversary.
Not our 3-year Annie, okay? So this is our 3-year anniversary. So we decided what would be better. If you guys have not listened to this podcast at length, I always tell people when they're like, where should I start listening? Like, when should I start? I say start at the beginning. Or if you really just like need an episode to get you through life, just like if you're going through something difficult and you just want to giggle and be like, what the fuck? Listen to Trip of a Lifetime. Listen to Trip of a Lifetime. It's an iconic episode. It's still to this day one of my most highly streamed episodes. And it's just, and I get it. Anna Grace and I talked about this before we started recording. We actually, neither one of us have listened to it since it aired, right?
No, it was low-key traumatic for me. So like I haven't listened to it ever again. No. Also, Shannon, literally, it's so funny that we're doing this today. Shannon just kind of was like, hey, you want to hop on and do a recap? I was like, absolutely. One of my friends texted me yesterday and she's like, oh, I'm going on a little vacation, me and hubby. And I was like, cute. And like, she told me like 3 times she was going to be out of town. And I was like, wait, where are you going? You keep just like saying you're like going somewhere. And she's like, trigger warning. I didn't want to tell you, but I'm actually at Enchantment right now. And I specifically didn't tell you where I was going because I kept going like, bitch, where are you? What
Is
are
it
you
Sarah?
doing? No, it's my friend Peyton, but she's like also listened to the episode and she's known about my mushroom trauma. And
Trigger warning.
She said, trigger warning, I'm at Enchantment. And I was like, no.
No, I can't hear anymore. Have so much fun. Bye now. Okay, so it's been 3 years since this iconic episode. So we, like I said, Courtney is a woman in STEM and she has figured out a way for you guys to listen to the podcast, but we are also able to recap this episode. So, you know, as you're listening to this, we will also be listening to it. And when we would like to stop and talk about any specific parts, you'll hear our voices just come right on in. I maybe Courtney can add a little ding note to like say that this is current AG and Shannon, 2024 AG and Shannon popping in. But like, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to recap it while we're doing it. Like, listening to it with you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let yourself have a little giggle. This is a true story. At one of my meet and greets, someone told me, like, hand on Bible, they said, trip of a life, and these are their words, not mine. I'm not like giving us this much credit for the episode, but this is her truth to share. And she told me that her father passed away, and the first time she laughed after her dad passed away was listening to Trip of a Lifetime.
Oh, so that like makes me really emotional.
While it wasn't a healing experience for Anna Grace, maybe this could be a healing experience for you. Okay, guys? Before we get into the recap, by the way, I do just want to note, if you're watching this at home rather than listening, I look bad. I look bad. And that is because we haven't the time, I haven't the energy or wherewithal to break it down for you. But don't you worry, guys. I'll explain it on an episode. Preferably with Anna Grace, that would be great. But we're having a bit of a wedding dress emergency, I'd say.
I would say emergency,
and I leave out of the country mañana, so I was like gonna look really gorgeous and get ready, and then everything happened, and there's just like a lot to unpack, and I will, but right now you guys just need to know that I'm doing the best I can. Okay.
Wait, I did not know you were leaving literally tomorrow.
I leave tomorrow. It is,
and y'all, she just FaceTimed me in her wedding dress and she's like, okay, so we're gonna have to do a little emergency alteration session,
and I fly to Atlanta tomorrow to then fly to London tomorrow at 10 a.m. So
oh my God, I'm sure
let's just hope everything gets done. Okay, anyways, that's all. And let's get to it, guys. Here we go. Okay, guys, take a seat, sit back and relax. And here is Trip of a Lifetime.
And I want to tell you guys, I've been microdosing mushrooms for like a year now.
Okay, I love it. I know a lot of people that microdose mushrooms.
And also, I mean, I always tell people like
I never have yet. By the way, I want to.
Okay? Well, I will do it with you as your shaman.
Okay, be my shaman.
as your spiritual guide. I probably shouldn't say shaman because there's a lot of training that goes into that. But
quickly, first of all, aren't you like basically a shaman now? Like, you really have just like turned the fuck up in the past 3 years.
No, so I'm not a shaman. I really have though. Like, I mean, I am a Reiki master. I'm a full blown Akashic Records practitioner. I mean, I can levitate. So
maybe the mushrooms did do something to you.
I think it did blast me into the next level.
In a really horrible way. Okay. Also, I do like love that you're like, we'll go on mushroom journey together. Like, now I can do this, and here you are like, I'll never touch it literally as long as I live ever again.
I want you guys to know that like 2 months ago, Austin took a little niblet of a mushroom in front of me, and I had to go to the bathroom and poop because it made me so nervous watching him, because he did like, he had like a legit looking mushroom, not like a microdose, not like a chocolate. It was like a mushroom,
physical mushroom, like y'all had.
Physical mushroom. And I was like, sir, you do not know how much is in there. And I got so nervous for him because it was reminding me of this when we had no idea. Just to let you guys know, cap and a stem. That's what I took. Wild as hell.
Cap and a stem.
Also
cap
took
and a stem.
A little nibble, and I had to go to the bathroom and poop my pants. Anyways, continue.
Okay, here we go.
But I will be your guide. I feel like I've heard about it on a lot of podcasts. I want to reference Skinny Confidential, but
love her. Oh,
yeah,
love
her so much. She's fabulous. But really, the purpose of microdosing, if you do it with intention and in nature, it's been a very enlightening. I feel like I've had a lot of perspective shifts. I've been reading a book right now that's all about like healing things. Like,
yeah,
I'm going into Sedona thinking I'm going to really heal some shit. I'm going to come back a new woman.
I'm too scared to do, it's like my drinking. I was too scared to drink at first because I thought I would lose all control. And so it's the same with mushrooms. I've always been too afraid, but every person I talk to, that most of them microdose, like you're saying, they all say that you're just like so happy, and you're not hallucinating. You're just genuinely like discovering things about your friends. And it's unlike some other drugs that are me. Mushrooms are like, I want to learn more about you. I want to learn more about the world. It's like very introspective.
I think it's very introspective. Like
Okay, I'll pause it there again because since these 3 years have passed, I will microdose mushrooms all the time, like microdose chocolates. Really, usually just a party. I don't do it to like introspectively like interview my friends and chit chat. We'll just like do it while we're raging. And yeah, it's just like a fun, you just like, I wouldn't say you're like, I love you. You're not really like that. I'm not anyways. That's more like when you do Molly or EDM, but like, or EDM's music. MDMA.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say that is correct with microdosing. That's how I felt anyways recently.
I thought that was a really good explanation you just did. 3 years later, still stands.
The only more I can say, I've always walked away from it feeling very enlightened, or having, like, they say it really does like chemically rewire things in your brain for the better. They treat actually what is it? Veterans who have PTSD, like people who like need mental healing. Not that I'm a horror veteran, but
but it's used for good.
Yes, it's used for good. So I'm not out there like using it to like go to an EDM festival. I was going to Sedona saying I have a lot of projects going on. I want to get like some extra creative juice going.
Yeah.
My girl Sarah's rolling up from Denver. She's like, I got a fresh bag of mushrooms. I'm like, let's go, sister. Like the stars have aligned.
And that's also that's a really trustworthy source for the mushrooms too.
Yes.
You didn't just get them from a bathroom attendant.
No.
Much like, remind me, the Molly meth
We
situation.
have a story.
Don't let me forget.
Up, everyone. A plot twist.
Instagram took it down, so I said I'm gonna talk about that shit on the podcast.
We're taking that to the podcast because we got some freedom of speech over there. Okay, so Sarah's like, I've taken like 5 of these suckers at once, right? So we wake up.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is okay.
Same batch.
No scared at all.
No. I go into it cool as a cucumber. I've never taken I've only microdosed. I've never taken like the legit, like look like mushrooms.
Right. You've taken like microdose pills forms. Yeah.
Yeah. Or, that's like chocolate. It's like
okay.
edibles.
Gotcha.
Microdose a little chocolate bar. You just take a little nibble and you feel great. Okay. And I'm like really excited about it. I've always wanted to do mushrooms. This is my time. I want to do ayahuasca, all the things.
Yeah. She's
very
opposite of me. She's like not scared of anything. Pause. Have you now changed your mind? You guys, there is nothing worse than some stanky breath. And here, I've got a long-standing history, not with stinky breath, but with just like, teeth and mouth-related issues. So I'm really big on the old dental hygiene front, all right? And when I tell you, like, if someone has bad breath, myself included, it's just an immediate red flag. It's an ick. And Smart Mouth, Smart Mouth is amazing because Smart Mouth is the only mouthwash that is scientifically proven to eliminate and prevent bad breath for 24 hours with just 2 rinses a day, okay? And it's tried and true because as much as I dislike bad breath, like I'm here to tell you I can have it. I can have it. I'm human. All right. And Smart Mouth prevents bad breath 12 times longer than any other leading brand. And I've tried them all. All right. I've tried them all. I'm serious about bad breath. Okay. So Smart Mouth, it's unique. All right. They've got this dual chamber bottle. So it keeps the two powerful solutions separate. That I love this about it. It's a little science experiment, if you will. Okay. Because it keeps these two solutions. They're like separate until you're ready to rinse. All right. So then when you pour the two solutions into the cup, you're then activating it. And I'm about to sound really smart here. You're activating the smart zinc technology. So this zinc ion activation is the key. It is the key to eliminating and preventing sulfur gas. All right. Again, I'm Bill Nye the Science Guy, but sulfur gas is bad breath. All right. And the secret to all day fresh breath is the fact that when these two things oxidize together, boom, they just create a magic solution to give you just fresh breath, all right? And that is because it was developed by a dentist. That's right. Smart Mouth, they got the big dogs involved, all right? They're like someone that sees this every day. Let's bring them on board and let's make sure this is done right. So I think it's summertime, it's winter, it's spring, it's fall. No matter what season, if your breath stinks, it's not good. Me personally, I get really self-conscious anytime that I'm like in a big meeting or in an in-person situation. Before I have shows, I have meet and greets, and I just like cannot fathom. I would die. I would literally die if people left and were like, Shannon Ford was so nice, so cool. Her breath stank. She had that stanky breath. Like I cannot fathom. So use Smart Mouth, all right? And don't miss out on the 24-hour fresh breath. Find Smart Mouth at CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart, or visit www.smartmouth.com/probably to snag a special discount on your next Smart Mouth purchase. That is www.smartmouth.com/probably. Smartmouth.com/probably. Your mouth will thank you, and honestly, so will everyone else around you.
Let me just tell you guys what. I loved where I was at. I loved how brave I was then. She was so
Scared
brave.
of nothing, no fear.
No fear. Fearless. I'm wearing a bracelet. Oh, I don't have it on right now. I have a little
fearless.
fearless. I have a little like Little Words project bracelet that I've been wearing lately that's like fearless because I'm trying to get back to that. Okay.
Yeah. With less drugs.
I'll never say never because I am kind of a wildcat. Where I'm at right now in my life, ayahuasca, I could never. Now that I've had a lot of friends that do it, I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, so we're puking. We're pooping.
Everyone that we're pooping our pants and throwing up at the same time. Everyone that I've talked to that does ayahuasca, they either have one or two things. You either do have the spiritual awakening of your life, or you just throw up for like 2 days straight and hate your life. But everyone, even that has the spiritual awakening of their life, is like, yeah, once I shit my pants and like threw up 65 times, then I literally was able to access this other part of my brain. I'm like, right, but like, do we have to get like IBS before we do that? I don't know.
No, and like I am like, I always tell literally anyone, I am tethered to this reality by a fucking thread. Okay? Like I am literally here connected by one thread.
No, literally at any second they could take you back to space. Like you're so right.
I literally just like
I think you were close during this trip.
And like the mushrooms, when I learned like Sarah, she was pretty much fine. I mean, she was like a little fucked up, but fine. Me tethered by a fucking thread. And so if I did ayahuasca, I would blast off and never return.
No, it would be really sad. Whoever would come back to Anna Grace, we'd be like, that's not you. You'd be like, do you want me to do your taxes? We'd be like, what the fuck? No. She's like, let's go to a folk song concert. I'm like, no.
Boo.
You like T-Pain.
I love T-Pain.
No.
T-Pain concert was my best summer memory. Okay, hit play.
Here we go. Heard of anything? She's like, I'll try it out.
Fearless, sometimes to a fault, right now. So we get real cute. I've got feathers in my hair, got a whole hiking fit. We're gonna climb to the top of the mountain. It's gonna be so cute.
We'll post a picture.
We're gonna take reels. Yeah, we'll post a picture. We're in the car. I set the container for us. I set the tone. I'm like, universe, whatever we need, guide us, heal us, let's have an amazing connection with nature. Like, so glad I can see Sarah first time in a year. Like, woo! It's a great day to be alive, right?
Love it.
So she actually is like, it's actually better if you dip them in peanut butter, right? So I'm like, hot dog. I love peanut butter. Dip. Down the hatch. One mushroom, one stem. Okay? You take a cap and a stem. So we're walking up a mountain. We're just hiking. And all of a sudden, I'm like,
I have not heard the story first, by the way. I just need you to know that I wanted her to tell me so many times, and she was like, I have to tell you on the podcast. Okay. Okay.
So we're hiking. I am so cool as a cucumber, Shannon. I forgot I took these mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
So we sit down, just have water breaks. You know, we're in Sedona. We're in Arizona. It's hot. There's cactuses around. And first going into it, I should have known something was weird because this man comes out of nowhere, dressed in a dress shirt and khaki pants, and hands us a carved like heart. I was like, is this kind of like a mirage or like what's happening?
Was he?
We're not sure. Hands us a heart. And he's like, he's like, open your heart to the mountain. I'm like, that was lovely and nice. Like, we're walking along. All of a sudden, of course, we bring like one bottle of water. We're not prepared at all. So we're walking 20 minutes in. Forgot I took the mushrooms. Wasn't even sure. I was like, man, I'm not even really feeling these things. And microdosing, you don't really ever feel it like intense. You feel like a little floaty, but it's not even like, I don't even really like smoking weed or taking edibles that much anymore because it's a little intense for me and I'm kind of a lightweight.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's kind of like I took maybe like a 10 or 15 milligram edible. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, God. That's a lot of
I kind of look at Sarah and I'm like, and she's kind of looking at me like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And I'm like,
that would have freaked me out automatically.
I was like,
when people start asking if you're okay, when you know you're not okay, I'm immediately like, oh, fuck.
She kind of looks at me. She's like, are you okay? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. All of a sudden, I'm feeling kind of funny. I'm feeling like I never felt before, but I'm still prepared to have a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
I've committed to it. So we're walking, and all of a sudden I start looking at her, and it's like coming in waves. It's getting more intense. Next thing I know, I'm like, dude, I did not know there were billy goats in Arizona.
Are there? No, you're hallucinating.
No, there's no billy goats.
Whole billy goats. You saw the whole thing.
There's a billy. Oh, just wait. And Sarah's like, what? And I'm like, did you see that billy goat? Like a bearded goat. And she's like, I didn't see it. I missed it. And she's like,
did you look up the spiritual meaning of billy goat?
Dude,
you need to.
This story is about to just absolutely take off. So I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I'm hallucinating.
Oh shit.
I literally it went from like kind of feeling like I took an edible to be kind of high. Like literally my palms are sweating right now just thinking out to full blown. And when people say like, yo, I was tripping balls, like that sounds kind of fun. It sounds kind of funny. I was tripping balls with a million Z's at the end. I am like, oh my.
No, that's like one of the most iconic parts of this whole episode. Like, you said that, and in real life during this episode, you were like so fucking serious. I rewatched that maybe 15 times. I was tripping balls.
It's like, there's like literally imagery flashing at your face.
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh. It was like butterflies, sparkles, billy goats. It's like balls. Like,
so like right now, I'm like, what the fuck even is a billy goat? Like, why a billy goat?
I don't know. And the fact that you were actually just like making them up in your mind freaks me the fuck out. Actually, I'm not kidding. Listening to this now, since this episode happened, I've been to like Ibiza and I've had like the horrible experiences with drugs. I'm getting kind of like sweaty, like knees weak, arms spaghetti. Like I'm getting kind of like about this whole, it's triggering me.
I'm sorry. I finally worked through mine in therapy, but
you need to go to therapy if you listen to this episode. Okay, here we go.
Oh, my armpits are sweating right now just thinking about this. And I literally look at Sarah and like we walked like 10 more steps at that point. And I look at Sarah and I'm like,
how'd you not fall off the mountain?
Dude, I'm telling you, my motor skills started going. I started like losing balance. I'm on a mountain.
This is how people definitely die.
And I'm seeing billy goats. And hiking and mushrooms go hand in hand. Handshake emoji.
Really?
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing people in outdoors do. And I was trying to be one of those people. I wanted to be one with nature.
That's why I don't do outdoors things.
All right. So I'm like, okay, billy goat's not a thing. And Sarah's like, I don't even know. She is having a great time, by the way. I start looking at her being like, oh my gosh.
Sarah's tolerance is much higher than yours.
Well, but also we took these in a vortex, which I didn't really know what that meant. And
what is that?
A vortex is a place in the earth where like all these energies meet. It's kind of like a force field of
Sedona
energy.
is the vortex?
A vortex. And they say they're like these Native American healing grounds because like the resort we were on was like on this like healing. It's called Enchantment Resort. It's very like they do all these things. Like if people have trouble getting pregnant, they'll take them out there and do these like ceremonies on them in these vortexes. And they say it invites in all these like energies and healing sperm.
It invites the sperm.
And they have sex. No.
And they have sex. And they get it.
Baby in you. No, but so it's like supposed to be this whole like healing thing. Oh my Atlanta. So I'm all of a sudden, I feel like I've taken 190 milligram edible. I am out of my mind. I'm sweating. It's like when you know you're too high, you're like,
oh, that is the worst feeling in the world. It's why I don't really fuck with edibles anymore, because I couldn't figure out the right dosage. And they're illegal in Tennessee, so they don't it's not regulated correctly. Oh God, it's the worst feeling in the world. I break down, so I can't imagine a mushroom effect like that.
So there's other people hiking out there, and I'm like stumbling around at this point. There's feathers in my mouth and my hair, like all of my accessories. I'm a mess. There's people walking by, and I remember thinking this one guy walked by, and I'm like, I wonder if I should tell this guy that his ear is literally on his shoulder. Like, he had 2 little girls with him, and
you're like the character in a movie who walks. No, that again, one of the funniest parts. I mean, you hear me cackle the way I cackle because like you really didn't tell me the story before the first time I listened to it, and that to this day we still will quote that. Like Anna Grace and I will still be like, I wonder if I should tell this guy that his ear is on his shoulder. It's such a funny line. Like, you dead ass were just a straight up comedian in this whole episode. And I know it was your trauma that you were just sharing, but it was incredibly funny.
I think the next line is that there were fairies. And I remember that's when I was like, I think I'm losing my fucking mind. Hit play. Let's do the next one.
I know you guys hear me talk about this all the time, but that is that life is not perfect, okay? We got highs, we got lows. And the fun part about this podcast and the platforms that I share on the internet is I like to show them all, okay? I've been through a lot this year, really fun stuff, really exciting moments of life, but also some not so great moments that I really needed to work through personally. And I like to do that with a therapist. I think it's really important and transparent to tell you that I think it's one of the most special things you can give yourself. And let me tell you something. You might think that you don't need it, but I promise you it'll make you feel so fulfilled after you go to therapy. But I get it. Listen, it's daunting. It's daunting trying to find a therapist. It's daunting to wonder if you can afford it. And I have a lot of friends who actually just gave up on the search because it took them forever and they felt uncomfortable when therapy is supposed to be the exact opposite of that. But listen, you've got to find the right person for you. Now that's the hard part, right? Because it's such a personal preference. And for me, I use Talkspace to find my therapist because it is exactly the tool that you need for finding the right professional for you. It was very convenient to speak to them online. And me personally, I like taking my therapy sessions from the place that I feel the most comfortable, which is my home. I love that my therapy sessions are just online. Okay. So they're at the ease and comfort of a space that I want to be in, that I feel comfortable in, not to mention the affordability of it all. And do we need a helping hand? Yes. But can we all afford it all the time? No, not always. So that's why Talkspace is really, really passionate about making therapy accessible to everyone. Okay. They even have a policy that allows you to cancel and get a prorated refund for unused time should you need to do that, which is fantastic. Like, I don't know anyone else that offers that. And a lot of people, I feel like, wait until something really bad happens to them for them to go to therapy. But I'm here to tell you that some of my best therapy sessions were just when I was really happy and sharing happy moments that I was able to process as well. It's really the most cathartic thing that I've ever given to myself. And I think that we should all be doing it at all stages and phases in our lives. Therapy can help you shift your perspective too, which I always need. I always need a perspective shift, okay? Finding tools to cope in difficult times. And frankly, just being a guiding light is something that I love my therapist for. So Talkspace can help you with any specific challenges that you might be facing. And get this, it's the #1 online therapy platform with licensed therapists in over 40 specialties. So that's including anxiety, depression, substance abuse, relationship issues, and so much more. And as a listener of this podcast, you will get $80 off your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com/probably and you enter promo code SPACE80. So to match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/probably and enter the promo code SPACE80. You'll get $80 off your first month, and that is Talkspace.com/probably promo code SPACE80. Someone says, "Sir, did you know your ear is on your shoulder?" Like, you're like movie style hallucinating.
I've never hallucinated in my whole life. And he has 2 little girls with him, and I literally am kind of laughing.
Didn't.
They were purple and their ears were pointed, and I go, Sarah, yeah, the twins, they're like 8. And I go, Sarah, look, they're desert fairies. And she's like, she literally turns around and she goes, I think you need to drink some water and maybe sit down for a second. And I'm like, I'm kind of thinking it's funny because I'm like, I've never hallucinated before. Still trying to have a good experience. Oh, it's like coming in waves. It's getting more intense from my head to my toes. I'm hallucinating. I'm seeing
You thought that might have been the cat.
I'm thinking, all right, any moment, we're going to shake it off. I'm like, we're hiking down the mountain at this point. At this point, I'm like, I know we have climbed 16 miles. It's like the Quaaludes at the airport. The last episode I did, I'm like, I am fighting for my life. And I'm telling Sarah, I'm like, Sarah, at this point, I'm like pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
Because I want you guys to know this mind has been trained. I am doing affirmations. I'm like, Sarah, talk to me. Talk me off this mountain. We got 18 more miles to go, baby. Get me down. And she's like, okay, repeat after me. I am a good friend. I'm like, I am a good friend. I am a good girlfriend.
She was being sweet.
No, she deserves $1 million. Like, so we're getting down the mountain, and I thought we've been hiking for a year. I was like, I literally looked at her at one point. I go, I want it to be tomorrow. It's like 45 minutes.
I know that what part's coming, and it's the funniest part of the whole episode. In my mind, if I ever tell people the story, I always tell this part. Okay, here we go. I've said that before in edibles, not like you, but I've like been like, when does it end? When does it end?
So she's like any minute, because like mushrooms really, I mean, they're from the earth. They're not supposed to be that intense. Whatever. I'm seeing Billy.
You know, you're not gonna die. That's comforting.
Yeah.
You can't overdose on mushrooms, can you?
It's debatable. So we're just getting started. So anyways, we get on the mountain. I'm like, we've been hiking for a year. I literally look at Sarah and I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna make it back to the resort. Shannon, she looks at me and she goes, AG, baby, we're still on the Wi-Fi to our room.
No. That's the end of the clip. That is so fucking funny to me. Like that is peak comedy. Like this is like a Seth Rogen. This is a Seth Rogen like movie. Like you literally be like, it's been 45 days. How could we make it back? 18 miles back. There's ferries. There's billy goats. And she's like, we're literally still connected to the room's Wi-Fi on our phones. That's how close we are.
We could literally still like I pretty much could have turned around and seen the hotel, but I was just like so fucked up, and we had climbed up a mountain, so like the side of the mountain was here, but the hotel was just at the bottom. Like we were not far at all, and
there were little baby twins there. Yeah, they didn't surely hike 18 miles.
No, we were like on a beginner's path, and like
I'm dead.
Yeah, okay, keep going.
The way that like this is just, it's so funny to me, and I'm really sorry again that this is just like your trauma, but
I'm just sharing
that's
the truth.
Fucking hilarious. Okay, here
she's literally like, we are still connected to the Wi-Fi at the resort. We have not gone. Y'all, I thought we'd been on a drink. Oh no, we're at one point.
You guys could have gone back and gotten more water.
At one point, I had to pee so bad, Shannon. I was like, I'm just gonna pee my pants.
You were fine with it.
I was fine with it.
Okay.
I have never, and even when I've been that drunk, I mean, I've never peed. I've never on Tinkle. I was literally like,
I've never.
I literally.
Did you pee your pants?
No.
Okay, you telling the truth?
I tell the truth, but it was damn near close. I literally am like, I'm gonna pee my pants right now. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it and keep walking. So we get down the mountain. Sarah's like, literally, we've been. I mean, she's like, we're arm in arm. We're talking. I'm like, I am kind. I am nice. I am like.
You are kind of nice.
Thank you, but I'm just talking to myself this mountain. I was considering peeing my pants. Shannon Newell Ford. By the time we get to the bottom, I just want you guys to know: have you ever seen your friend's face melt off onto the floor into a puddle of googly-eyed, googly-doo?
See, it's like, it all sounds so fake because this is how people must write movies, because these things actually happen to them and then they write about it.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying sounds like a funny movie I've seen. So that I want to be clear, you actually saw Sarah's face melt off.
Drip down, gobble me,
And
swallow
did
me.
you cry? Gobble me, swallow. First of all, we're funny. Second of all, we must still have the same brain thought process, because I'm like, this is literally like a Seth Rogen movie, and then in this episode I'm like, this is literally like how people write movies. It's
Truly.
so funny.
I'll let you hit the next line. Yeah, go ahead, hit play.
Me, swallow me, drip down the side of me. Did you? Your face is melting, bitch.
Yo, I'm like, your face is melting. We're in the porta potty.
Did you really think it was melting in real life, or
No,
were you like, I'm
at this point I knew I was.
You
The
knew
Billy Goats I was unsure. I know I'm hallucinating. And here's the thing, I'm like,
I would freak out more if I knew I was
I'm
hallucinating.
but I can't tell what's real and what's fake. I don't know. I don't know. I'm in the bathroom. The walls are disappearing. I literally looked at Sarah. Do you remember the Sims game? I go, my Sim is glitching. I am glitching. It was like there was a
I
video
used
game.
to drown my Sims. I used to take the ladder out of the pool. I think that says a lot about me.
Shannon has a real scary side. I'd be scared to cross you, bitch.
I'm telling you, if I start laughing in an argument,
She's like,
not good. If I'm mad and I start laughing, just don't get in a pool, bitch, because I'm gonna take that ladder out.
You said I'm gonna whoop that
I'm
ass.
gonna take that ladder out.
Dude, I wish you had drowned me in a pool at this moment, because I was literally
So dark.
I'm trying to pee in like a hole in the ground. There's like, we saw a tarantula.
A real one.
A real one.
And you sure?
I'm positive. Sarah saw it too.
Okay, that's
Sarah was
confirmation.
also on my.
I also I still remember this part of the bathroom. Like when I was in this bathroom and the bathroom back at our hotel, because that's where I pretty much spent all of my time, just literally freaking the fuck out because it lasted for so long.
How many hours did it last?
Sarah and I always say 8 hours, but like, who could be too sure?
Yeah.
No, like it took like, and then like at one point it started hitting Sarah, and then she started freaking out. Like, I'm sure because I was having a literal come undone.
She could only hang on for so long with you.
Yeah,
at
like,
some point she was gonna come undone.
Yeah, she's literally like, you're freaking me out, you know. And but like, still to this day, we're living in a video game. We're living in a simulation, and this mushroom trip is like what convinced me. Like, shit glitched. I saw a glitch. I saw things disappear.
Oh, this made you fully believe what people say about how like we're all living in a simulation. You're like, we are, because like this is it glitched.
I feel like my whatever in our brain like creates our little video game every day. Like beep boop boop beep boop boop. It like broke, and I was just like things were disappearing, or I was just
left
tripping.
and right, or you're just tripping,
or I was just tripping. Balls. Or we're living in a video game, so you know.
I
whatever.
vote video game. I fall under the category of absolutely despising grocery shopping, mostly because like I just don't be doing it right. I take forever. I get annoyed during the process. I honestly just like spend the whole time looking at ingredients because I'm like, wait, I'm trying to eat healthy, but like, is any of this healthy, or is it just like marketing scams? And also like, I just find the whole task to be daunting and annoying. So I prefer to have my groceries delivered to my house, and that is where Thrive Market comes in. I am a Thrive Market stan. Okay, I've been using them for years now. It's my favorite because it ensures that I'm ordering healthy groceries, okay? Now, there really are so many healthy alternatives to food that I've discovered while using Thrive's grocery subscription. And some of the brands they have are like Amy's, Four Sigmatic, brands that you guys like know and love. Primal Kitchen, The Honest Kitchen, and then just their brand in general, the Thrive Market brand, is incredible, and tons more. And they have way more than just food, by the way. They got bath, beauty, all of it, okay? Delivered right to your door, and with some serious savings. Now, I'm a real visual gal, so when I'm on Thrive's Market website, I love that they show you the amount that you're saving on the groceries are right there in red. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm actually saving money and cutting out the annoyance of going to the grocery store because it just comes straight to my door. And they even tell you the percentage off that it is. So you really do just get so much better prices on Thrive than you would at a normal grocery store. My last order had a total savings of like 26%. Like, that's a freaking lot, okay? So they've also got a price match guarantee, which I love. You can also curate the shopping experience to your dietary preferences as well, which is super cool because it saves you a lot of time. Like, if you only want to see the gluten-free options, keto-friendly, non-toxic cleaning supplies, I've clicked that before. Boom, you just enter that in and it'll tailor the website pages to show you just that. Okay, so just really nice. All right. And my favorite thing about Thrive Market is knowing that when you join, you're also helping a family in need with their 1-for-1 membership matching program. So when you join, they give someone who needs help the groceries to feed their families. And I love when I see big businesses giving back like that. It just makes me so happy. So I have a discount code for you guys. Of course, if you just join Thrive Market today and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift, go to thrivemarket.com/probably for 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/probably. thrivemarket.com/probably.
Also on mushrooms. Anyways, at this point, I am having a full-blown come undone. Her face melted into a gooey pile on the floor. I'm peeing in a hole. There's a live tarantula. I'm like, this is actually turned into my
Nightmare.
worst nightmare.
Everything I'm afraid of, losing my friends' faces, tarantulas.
Literally. And
they're all just coming out.
And I thought I just hiked 40 miles. I mean, maybe 40 minutes. 20 minutes out, 20 minutes back in.
Shut
Who
up.
could be too sure? And
when you told me about the story before you told me about it, I thought you guys were gone for 8 hours. I was like, did it get dark?
Oh, no. Shannon, there's just this trip, what I'm taking you guys on, lasted for 8 hours.
But you were back in the room or what?
Oh, yeah. So that's where paranormal activity comes into play. No. So I'm like, I literally at this point am like losing it because also, if you guys, this is like, so Sarah gets this basically another hiker who's staying. Luckily, we were right by our resort, and we go to the parking lot, and because we were literally like right next to our hotel.
Yeah.
But we are tripping our faces up, and Sarah was like really tripping pretty hard too, but I'm like losing it.
She probably do at that point.
I'm at this point scared. Yeah. And I'm scared, and she's kind of scared for me. She's like, this is not going well.
Well, you're just always so controlled.
I am so calm.
We weren't kidding about what we said when we drink, when we eat anything. We're just very controlled people. And especially in certain like emotional situations, I might freak out, but Anna Grace is always the person that grounds me back and is like, listen, like does the things where it's like, count to 10, say these things to yourself. You were fine. This is like, you are such a grounded, calm being that I think I would also be very scared if I saw you unravel.
Oh yeah, I think that's how Sarah was. She was like,
mentally, you're one of the strongest people I know.
Thank
so
you.
I would really be stressed out.
I want you guys to know that I was in the middle of a psychological warfare, and I am
no one but myself.
with no one but myself and my own thoughts. And I literally am on the mountain too, and all I can think about too, I'm thinking about Sweet Coach, and I'm like, he's. I'm trying to think of the only person I know that's sober. And your ass probably wasn't. So I'm like, I need to think of someone that's really sober, and like, what are they doing? And I'm like, he's probably sitting at his desk. It's a work day. Poor guy. It's like a Tuesday afternoon. I can't call him and be like, I'm tripping. Sarah's face just melted off.
You're like, it's a new relationship. What am I going to tell him? I'm tripping
the alarm,
balls?
the alarm. I'm tripping balls, and like he kind of I think knew, but like he didn't know the extent of like what was going on. And I'm like, I literally can't get on my phone. I can't. So we get down the mountain. Sarah gets this nice, kind man, a little angel. Sarah talks this kind stranger into taking us to the resort, which by the way is like literally 0.1 miles. We cannot remember how to get back to our room.
No.
We can't remember how to get back to our room. I get in the front seat. There's a bottle of water that is not mine. I start ripping my shirt off. I'm getting my bra open. Stranger in the front. I'm in the passenger seat. Sarah's in the back. We're hanging out the window. No. And I'm literally...
This is all in the truck?
This is in the car. I'm pouring this bottle of water on me. Like... I'm hysterical. I am freaking out, and I'm like, I have a heart condition because I do.
You do.
I do have this like weird fainting thing. So I'm kind of thinking that mushrooms.
She's been fainting recently. Kind of,
yeah. And I'm thinking that maybe the mushrooms are triggering this because it's usually kind of like if I've been drinking or I get dehydrated. I'm like, I've been
you
hiking.
were definitely probably dehydrated if you guys hiked that whole
So
time.
I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm about to have an episode. And they're like pretty intense. It's the whole thing. So I'm like telling this guy, I'm like, I have a heart condition. I need you to get me out of the hotel. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I need you to get ice because I saw this thing on TikTok where you put ice on your vagus nerve. I'm like, I need you to take us front. So we take them to the front. Like everyone, it's the middle of the day on like a weekday. We're like hanging out the window. I'm like ripping my shirt off. Like
the people at this resort are like, Mom?
Yeah, literally. The guy comes out, puts like, I'm in a trash bag full of ice, and I'm like putting it in my boobs and under my tongue.
Oh my God.
Sarah's hanging out the back, flagging a guy on a golf cart, and she's like, we can't find our way to our room, y'all. It's like, the fact that we couldn't find our way to our room is like just a testament to how fucked up we were. Because like he's literally like, it's right up there to the right. And she's like, you're going to have to drive us in.
You're going to have to take us.
This is like amazing.
That is so funny. You're going to have to drive us in.
I remember, like, it's like a golf cart. Like, everyone that like works there like zips around on golf carts because it's like a little dusty roads.
Yeah.
It's not a complex place. It's not like huge. It is truly just a couple little dirt roads. And I'm like, so unfortunately, you're gonna have to carry us on your
back to being a Seth Rogen movie. Like just the character being like, you're gonna have to drive us in, buddy.
And the thing was too, is I felt like everyone was like really trying to help us. And in hindsight, I'm like, they had to have known we were just like so fucked up.
Had to. Do you think they see it very often?
I mean, I don't know. You think people are going out to Sedona taking mushrooms? Feels like a common thing. Feels like a popular spot to take mushrooms. I don't know.
True. Okay.
This is like a maintenance man. He's like on a golf cart. He's like,
no, it's right there. I can see the door. You're like, you're going to have to piggyback us.
You're going to have to drive us in.
You're going to have to carry Madame Zeroni up the hill.
Into her room. Okay, so this guy.
Iconic Holes reference.
That was fucking iconic. I forgot about that line.
I fully forgot about that line. But now that I'm thinking back to when I used to sit on my fucking little laptop in Final Cut Pro and make these clips, I remember thinking this mashup clip is so fucking funny. You're gonna have to carry Madame Zeroni
Up the hell. God.
Oh, it's funny. Fuck.
Guy drives us up to our room. We're like, it's room 176, 167. I don't know. Help. So Sarah somehow has room key. I don't know how we get back in because at this point I'm losing it. I am absolutely losing it. We get out of the car and I'm like, no. Oh my God, my hallucinations are getting worse. Sarah, there is a fleet of wild boar outside of our room. And Sarah's like, oh my God, that's not a hallucination. I want you guys to know that wild boar.
Wait, wild boar are very
dangerous.
dangerous. I thought you were hallucinating. I was like, haha, too bad because those are really dangerous. They kill people all the time.
There's like 7 of them outside our room.
So those were actually there.
And they're actually called javelinas. I'm pretty sure it's a javelina. At the time, I didn't know what it was because I was just stupid and fucked up. But and they're like very much so like native to the land and very real. And I'm like,
dangerous?
This is crazy, super dangerous, definitely like aggressive. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm pretty sure you don't want to fuck with them. And I'm like, should I go up and pet it? Like, everyone's like,
get the fuck away from the wild boar that could literally murder you. Honestly, the fact that you made it out alive is crazy.
It's pretty slay.
Okay, do you have a TikTok? Do you literally have a TikTok? Do you have the internet on your phone? If you were not involved in mom talk, when I tell you guys, I feel like this scandal took the entire world by storm. You couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't go to the grocery store. You couldn't be like reaching for cereal without someone saying like, did you see mom talk? Taylor and I were obsessed. We were obsessed with the drama, and I'm not even like that drama fueled of a person, but I was so engaged. It was like an actual like television series, like the hottest television series ever. And it was just on TikTok. But now it actually is a television series because The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is now streaming to Hulu. Okay. And of course it's on Hulu because all the best shows are. And this is a show that I am so excited to binge watch. You can't even imagine the way I'm going to watch it all in one sitting and have absolutely no apologies for it. Now, this is a group of Mormon moms. Let me break this down. If you literally live under a rock and you don't know about mom talk, this is a group of Mormon moms that grew up in a very conservative Mormon faith. Okay, your traditional rules, very strict rules for Mormon culture. No cursing, no tattoos, no piercing, no alcohol. Get this, guys. And this one always threw me for a loop because I have some Mormon friends. No caffeine. No caffeine. And most importantly, be the perfect wife for your husband. All right. Now, these women blew up overnight on TikTok, as most people know, because they were fully in the spotlight when Taylor Frankie Paul, honestly, legend, announced that she and others in the group were involved in swinging. Okay. Mormons who are swinging. Never heard of it. So we were all immediately like, oh, what's going on here? And now they are coming together for this new reality series that gives you an inside look at the secrets, lies, and gossip in mom talk. I've never been more excited for a show in my entire life. Like, I'm so enthralled. I'm so invested. I want to know more. Every time we would learn more about them, I'd think that's not enough. I want to know more. I want to know more. So these women are changing gender roles in the Mormon culture, and they are paving the way for the next generation, which we honestly love to see. So if you don't already know who they are, trust me, you are going to know who they are after this. Watch the Hulu original series, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. All episodes now streaming on Hulu. I'm diving in. We'll report back. We've got a debrief. Just chef's kiss. Cannot wait.
And also everyone that's helped us has immediately ejected us out of all vehicles because they think we're crazy.
Because you guys were crazy.
We were acting crazy.
Wait, Wild War with tusks and everything.
They called him something else specifically. Like there's a name for the indigenous, like what? No, like a fleet of boar, and they
just were squatted up.
And Sarah's like, and I'm like, oh my God, there's all these boar around me. And she's like, no, that's real. Get in the room. Like, we go into the room. I literally strip down. I'm like ripping feathers out of my hair. I'm like, the walls are, everything's like wavy. My vision's where I get into the bathtub.
Do you take off all your clothes? Sometimes when I feel really stressed out, I have to take off everything. And sometimes when I go number 2, I have to take off all my clothes. Sometimes even my rings if it's a real bad one.
I literally am like making Sarah dump ice. I start.
You took an ice bath?
I took an ice bath. Then I get in the shower. I make her give me a hairnet. I mean, I'm acting. I look at her and I go, Sarah, at this point, I'm genuinely concerned for my health. I'm starting to tell people in my mind,
goodbye.
I'm literally like, oh my God, Coach is going to be so bummed out when he finds out.
First of all, boyfriend's going to be super bummed. Super bummed. Mom and dad, upset. They're going to be upset.
And I want you guys to know, I genuinely was trying to tell Sarah, I go, Sarah, I know one day that this is going to be funny. I'm going to tell Shannon stories to be really funny, but right now it's not funny.
You're so telling me that. She kept saying, Shannon, at one point, she wouldn't tell me anything until right now, but like she kept being like, the only thing that got me through was I just kept telling myself, this is going to be funny. One day I swear this will be funny.
I don't know if it's funny,
it's
but
very funny right now.
I'm like,
the fact that someone came up to you and said that she hadn't laughed since her father's death made this traumatic event worth it for me.
No, agreed.
It really
like,
did.
You're like, every time I'm like, this is the funniest story ever. This is the funniest story. And it's like, still not really worth it for me. But like, there are a couple moments that have made this worth it. Like,
super worth it.
Oh my gosh.
I actually bonded with a lot of people. Like, I'll never forget. I was at, what is that little wine tapas bar? It's like
Barcelona.
I was like, it's a Spanish
yeah
Barcelona. I was at Barcelona and like literally bonded with a table of like 15 people who were all like, we took mushrooms one time and got way too fucked up, but yours was like next level. And I was like, listen, now we're trauma bonding. See,
now we're trauma bonding. People come up to me like still to this day and are like, trip of the lifetime. Like, that is such a funny episode. And I'm like, it really is. It really is. It was all worth it.
It was so worth it.
Okay, so then we're naked. We're both in our robes. I literally take us outside and I start I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm praying in Jesus' name. I'm making Sarah Sarah pray. Sarah's Jewish. I'm like, bitch,
We're like,
I'm like,
it's Hanukkah. Say something.
say something. I take us outside. I dig a hole in the ground because I'm trying to get grounded. I'm in a robe. I'm making her hold my hands. And then
You dug a hole?
because I'm like,
Tell people what grounding
grounding
is.
is where you put your feet barefoot in the ground and you like literally connect to the earth and it like
Right
it
now-
centers your energy.
Right now, you guys could walk outside your front door and you could be grounding because your bare feet would be on the ground every day. The way in 2021, no one knew what the fuck grounding was. We're like, let's explain this phenomenon. Now everyone's like, bitch, we know what grounding is.
Yeah, they're like, we know. And honestly, I'm so happy for all of us.
Look at us, that we all
Look
know
at
now.
us evolving.
And Grace's like, you should go ground. Just walk
Really
outside
great
and
for
put
you.
your feet in the grass. So you're telling me you dug a hole.
I started digging a hole.
You were Madame Zeroni.
Madame
Digging up
Zeroni.
them holes, digging. Digging up them holes, digging.
Dig 'em.
Yeah, you were Stanley Yelnats in that bitch,
Oh,
trying to get unhigh.
I want you guys to know I'm digging a hole. Sarah and I are naked, stark naked. I made us take all our clothes off because I thought they were evil, the clothes.
Where are you naked outside? Do you
With
guys
our
have your
robe.
own private thing?
No. We're in the middle of a 5-star resort.
You dug a hole at a 5-star
I
resort?
dug a hole in the flower bed, and Sarah and I are holding hands, and I'm chanting. Okay. So then we get back inside, and at this point, I literally look at her.
Did anyone try to stop you?
No.
I don't think anyone wanted
I'm
to get
pretty
near
sure
you.
they're like, we can't help these girls. They're for sure.
They're too
am
far
like-
gone.
I literally go, Sarah, and my weighted people who have a weighted blanket, you guys will get this because when you need a weighted blanket, they're pretty comforting. And I go, Sarah, I need my weighted blanket. I think I'm gonna float away. Oh my God. And she goes, she takes all the couch cushions off the couch, puts them on my body, and I make her lay on top
the
of
couch
me.
cushions?
On the couch cushions on top
You're
of me.
like, I know what will fix this: suffocation. Suffocate me.
I need you to suffocate me. I thought I was
Sarah
gonna.
was a rock. Shouts out to Sarah.
Sarah.
Go buy her jewelry and her beautiful prints because she dealt with this bitch.
She dealt with me, and I want you guys to know this is only hour 2.
Hour 2
of 8.
By the way, still buy her jewelry, still buy her prints. She's incredible. She has an incredible merch company, Raw and Rebellious.
Yeah,
And
she has really cool teas, and she also still takes mushrooms. That bitch, she's
that
like can
crazy
handle them.
bitch.
I know.
It's important to note that I don't know if we delve into it in more of this episode. Maybe we do, but like when I asked you about the like experience further off the episode podcast, I remember you saying you truly thought your soul was gonna float away.
Yeah, no, I literally, I mean, maybe people who have done mushrooms understand, but like, I thought I was going to like float out of my soul was going to exit my body. Like, I'm
That's
telling
why you wanted
I'm
something on
tethered
top of
here
you.
by a thread. So I said, Sarah, you need to strengthen the thread and lay on top of my body. And Sarah is the most down person ever.
100%.
We love her.
We
you,
love
Sarah.
her.
God bless you.
God bless you, Sarah. This is such a funny story made possible by you and all your fuckery, and we really appreciate that.
And she is like true, just straight up fuckery in the best way. Funniest person ever.
funniest person ever. One of the funnier things that you've said, I feel like through all of this, is that you're tethered here by a thread. Like that's gonna stick with me. I really like that because it's so true.
It is.
So something in our household that we're always being very cognizant about is the ingredients and what's inside our food and drinks. Okay, James is all about that in our household, but why not worry about that with our skin? And so we've kind of gravitated towards really focusing on like what, not just we're putting on our face, but what we're putting in our body, what we're putting in our body, but like, again, what are we putting on it? Specifically the old money maker, the face. All right. So I really want to focus on the ingredients that are in products that we go on our face. Okay. So I've been trying to find the right products for my skin's need because obviously everyone's skin is different, but feeding your skin with farm fresh ingredients from Pharmacy specifically, like this is a brand that I just have tried out now and just truly trust. It's Pharmacy with an F, and it's a brand that's combining rich farm grown ingredients with clinically proven results. And I'm one of them. Like the results are truly incredible. Actually, I have to give credit where credit's due. James used Pharmacy before I did. He's obviously been a bit more on the forefront of just worrying about the ingredients that are inside of the things we use. So their products hydrate, cleanse, they nourish your skin, and their best selling, and I think I might be honestly the reason for this because I'm just buying it out of stock, their Honey Halo Moisturizer. It's just incredible. So their Honey Halo Moisturizer, it sources pure honey, okay, from this family operated bee farm in California. All right. This single source farm has over 12,500 colonies of healthy, happy bees. That's important. I want them to be happy. And they're formulated with proprietary buckwheat honey from a family operated bee farm in California. Like I said, we got 12,500 colonies of healthy, happy bees, pure, unfiltered honey harvested sustainably and ethically in small batches for this optimal potency and bee health, okay? And now I'm like the biggest bee advocate. I'm like, save our bees, make our bees happy, healthy, just make sure they're amazing. And so they combine this with ceramides to instantly hydrate and lock in moisture for a gorgeous dewy look. And that's what this does for me. Like, genuinely, I just feel like my skin is dewy. It's got these natural antioxidants that protect against causes of skin damage like UV, pollution, and it's combined with strengthening ceramides to support your skin's moisture barrier for an all-day hydration. Now, something about this, the Honey Halo Moisturizer, I find it really goes nicely underneath your makeup. I put it on without makeup all the time too. It's this rich, really like gorgeous, supple moisturizer that when you put on, you don't have to sit there and wait for it to soak into your skin. It immediately, and maybe my skin just really needs hydration, but it immediately saturates your skin in a gorgeous, gorgeous way, which I just love. And I feel like my makeup looks better on top of it. I just love it. The pharmacy difference is that pharmacy products they're the best of both worlds, all right? Formulations are from farm-grown ingredients enhanced by potent science. So they're putting farm-grown and science, okay? Both things can exist at the same time. They've got these active ingredients for clinically proven results. So these are actively rich, real ingredients. They got like things like fresh apples, papaya, honey, eco-conscious, sustainable packaging. We love that. We love that. Products that feel good and do good too. So the partnership they also have, and I love when big corporations give back. So their partnership with Feeding America helps reduce food waste and donates to communities that are in need across the country. It's just amazing. Drench your skin in honey hydration. Visit pharmacybeauty.com and code PROBABLY is going to get you 20% off your order. That is 20% off of your order at pharmacybeauty.com. That's pharmacy with an F.com with code PROBABLY.
I'm not going to really take you guys through the other 8 hours, but I made Sarah lay on top of me with pillows so that I wouldn't float away or slip out of my body.
Okay.
Was what I was thinking was going to happen.
Okay. You do have a big soul, so maybe you were just worried the soul was just going to
slip out. At one point, I'm pretty sure I tried to just perform an exorcism because I was scared that there was like a ghost in the room or a spirit.
Okay.
I don't really want to talk about it and Sarah goes, if anyone knew what we were doing in that room.
What did you do to perform an exorcism?
I don't know. But I just sort of let the Holy Spirit guide me.
The whisper.
That's when we were like,
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I literally was like, God, if I ever see the sunrise tomorrow, I will literally do anything you want from me in this lifetime. I just need this to be over. And like literally at 11 p.m. still like, and Sarah kind of had a few moments where she was like losing it. I was losing it.
Wait, not you doing this after mushrooms, and I prayed to God the same way whenever I drank that Celsius.
No, and that's how I understood the fear in your eyes.
Yes. You actually compared it to the mushrooms later on after I called you with the Celsius. You were like, this is how I felt, exactly how I felt with the mushrooms. Like, I literally was like, God, please. He's like, I literally, babe, I have a bigger fish to fry than a little white girl drinking a Celsius. But I was like, God, I swear to you, I will never do it again.
No, we actually, Shannon and I literally did a seance in the bathroom. We actually summoned her grandmother. I summoned everyone. I was like, help her.
To get me through the Celsius, okay?
We'll share that story more later, but anyways, back to the episode.
I was losing it. I'm telling her I'm having a heart attack. I'm writing goodbyes. I'm sending goodbye texts in my head. And at one point, like literally at 11...
You sent me a really weird voice note.
It was odd. Shannon thought when I said I tripped, I fell down a mountain.
She was talking about how she tripped so hard. And I'm not stupid.
Off.
I know when people say like, I'm tripping. But she said it with such veracity that I don't know if that's a word. She said it so intensely that I was like, oh my God.
She fell.
She must have fallen.
Literally at like 11 p.m. I compose like with every fiber of my being a text message to Coach just to let him know, because like the last he heard from us was at 2 p.m. that we were taking what I said magical beans was gonna be fun, Benny and the Beanstalk or whatever the fuck. I was trying to make a joke. Magical beans were AKA magical mushrooms, and I said signing off for now, being funny at 2, and he never heard from us again. And I'm telepathically communicating with him, being like, "Help me! I'm distressed."
And he's just at work like, do do do.
Yeah, he's literally like, "What happened?" So basically, all this happens. Sarah and I take us through a million guided meditations. We eat food. I mean, we literally did everything. One of these days, I'm gonna make a TikTok of the before and after. We took a video of us on mushrooms.
Oh God!
Literally, it looks like my soul has exited my body. I am just a sim character, blank eyeballs, and a mullet. just a
No,
mullet.
I've got to see this video.
In a robe, walking around outside Sedona.
I'm still shook that you dug a hole. Do we have this video? Did you
I
make
was
the TikTok?
just about to say I have this video. I'm going to resurface it. It was back then. It was too soon. It was too raw.
It was too
fresh.
raw. It was the mullet was too raw.
I couldn't refresh it. It was back when I had those freaking extensions and I burned off all my real hair. And then I couldn't get the extensions out. And it was a fucking nightmare. But anyways,
You're like outside of my hair just being horrible.
look at my hair now. She's
Look,
back. We're thriving.
3 years later,
I'll leak the video.
leak the video. Dug a hole at a 5-star resort so you could ground, and no one stopped you.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I need to check our bill because I'm for sure we were fined for something.
Gotta check my credit card.
I gotta check my credit card. And literally, we come back the next day, and I'm telling Shannon, one of our guy friends, and he's like, yeah, you should really maybe try, acid. I'm like, dude, I'm so off it with drugs for maybe the rest of my life until I die. He's like,
Wait, what did he say? He was like, acid is kind of like, he's like, mushrooms, you're in the back seat of your trip.
Yeah, he said, when you take acid, you're in the driver's seat of your trip. When you take mushrooms, you're in the back seat of the trip, and the car is going to take you wherever you go, aka the car is the mushroom. I said, motherfucker, I was gagged, hog-tied, handcuffed, blindfolded in the back seat of the trunk of the car going, I don't know where. I swear I think I was abducted by an alien.
That, another iconic line from the scene.
That's
was
probably my favorite line.
gagged, hogtied. I was blindfolded, handcuffed. In the trunk of the car. You're like, that was my mushroom experience. Also, shouts out to when I used to literally just date guys who were just tripping acid. He was like, you should try this sometimes.
He's like, yeah, mushrooms are for you. You should definitely try acid.
Yeah.
And let me let you guys in a little secret. I have not done acid. I have not basically done anything since this experience.
You really didn't. I'm pretty sure you stopped drinking after this. You're like, enough is enough.
It pushed me over the edge.
Another iconic line though. I was hog-tied. That now I'm remembering putting together these clips and I was like, this is just comedic gold. It's so good. A lot of judgy people out there whenever you're deciding to rent and not buy a home. Now, I was in a position to buy a home and I still didn't because I just needed to rent. I wasn't ready to commit to something. I wanted to rent, okay? And people always judge you for that. They're always like, oh, you're flushing money down the toilet. Oh, you're just paying all this rent. It's not going towards anything. And you know what? Part of them is right, but it was always really annoying that they were acting like my money was just vanishing into thin air, okay? And we've all been there feeling like we're burning cash with the rent checks and it's frustrating, right? But here's the deal. And I wish this was a thing when I was renting. So I'm telling you this so that if you are renting right now, you can utilize this. Built Rewards has figured out a way to make rent more rewarding, okay? Say goodbye to the money bonfire and say hello to a renter's revolution with Built. So they are breaking ground as a neighborhood rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. So you can earn points whenever you pay your rent. Every month you pay your rent and you watch the Built points roll in. Now, let's talk about things you can use your Built points towards. You can use them to jet off on a dream vacation. You can put your points towards a flight or hotel, or there's literally 500 plus airlines, 700,000 plus hotels and properties. So the options are endless there. You can use your points to book fitness studio classes, redeem them towards a future rent payment. That's right. You can literally redeem the points that you earn with Built Rewards towards a future rent payment. So they're designed to meet your lifestyle, whatever that is. You can pay your rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app, and your rent game just got a major upgrade. I'm so jealous of you guys because I was actually just flushing money down the toilet with my rent checks. This is truly amazing. Built points have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the points guy, we love Brian, and Bankrate. All right. So earn points by paying rent now when you go to joinbuilt.com/probably. That's JOINBILT.com/probably. Make sure you use my URL so they know that I sent you. Joinbuilt.com/probably to start earning points with your rent payments today.
Alien at one point. I was convinced.
No, you told me with all the confidence in the world that you definitely got abducted by aliens.
8 hours of my life are still unaccounted for. And I really will never, ever know what happened to us on that mountain because Sarah and I, we don't know, 2 p.m. And we came out of it, at the wormhole a little bit at 11. And, all I know is that I thought my soul was slipping out of my feet. And Sarah was going to have, the only thing she could do was lay on top of me
to make sure it didn't leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, anyways, I used to really want to go on a plant medicine journey. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I'm going to hit the brakes.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. In Malibu, I tried a frittata for the first time.
So,
different plant journey for me.
Look, can we please, y'all, this is my favorite story about Shannon. When we talk about how we accidentally got out of our minds. I literally, for 3 days, I was like, it feels so good to feel in my body.
She did keep calling me being like, it's just so good to talk to you.
I literally was like,
what? She's like, just it's so good to talk to you just like we're talking right now. And
I was like, this is so fun.
What do you mean
She's
we're
like
talking? And she's just happy
I literally
to be here.
was like, I'm just
like
so
on
happy.
Earth.
I'm happy to be here on Earth. I'm here with my friend. I called Coach the next day. I was like, I'm so happy I know you and you're in my life. And he's like, oh my God, are you okay?
All right.
I was like, no, I mean, for like 3 days, I was like, I don't know if I'm okay. Which, I will say maybe it was good. It was a perspective shift.
Yeah.
I'm happy I'm here.
We're
Would
happy
I
you're
recommend
here.
it to a friend? I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
So basically, I was sending I love you texts. I'm grateful for you. I'm thankful for you to all of my loved ones for about 72 hours after this experience. And I
Do you love me more now?
I love you more. I literally thought in the moment, I hope I can tell this story to the podcast one day, and I hope I will live to see another day.
Here we are on the podcast.
Y'all.
I had a very like she's just so grateful. I had a very different experience with drugs. So I said this on my Instagram. What did someone ask me? I was doing like
accidental drug journey.
I was doing like that one was an accident. I was doing like a questionnaire or something. Oh, someone said, "Have you ever tried mushrooms or acid?" And it was actually, that's funny. And I said, "No." Did you write it in from a ghost account? No. Like, was that your burner? She's
burner.
like, someone else will be able to relate to me.
That's right.
And I was like, no, I'd never done acid or mushrooms, but I did accidentally do meth one time. I know for a fact it was meth, 100%, because I'm in Tulum.
Oh my God.
I'm in Tulum, okay? I'm in Tulum, and we're all having a swell time. We're having a great time, and someone's like, "We should do Molly," and I'm like, "That sounds fun. I've never done Molly before."
Which also is so not like Shannon.
Yeah, I'm like, "I'll do Molly. We're
She's
in
like,
Tulum.
yeah.
Fuck it, okay." And so I'm like, "Yeah." I was at the time I was dating like my ex. Like I felt like I was in a very comfortable space, right?
Safe place.
I was with 2 friends that I trusted at the time. I was like, like this is fun.
Yeah.
So we get this Molly. I did not know at the time that the Molly was from the bathroom attendant in Tulum. Okay.
That'll get you every time, my
Listen,
dog.
I'm here to tell you, I'm not judging any bathroom attendant. I respect it. I'm thankful for you. I am.
Wait, can I just tell you one time when I was in Miami, there was a bathroom attendant that tried to sell me Plan B.
Wait, I've seen those in the bathrooms before. I saw them in the bathroom at Vegas. Why'd you think you needed one?
I'm like, my dude, I am not having any sex, but dang, thanks for looking out, brother. What?
Also,
why do you have a suitcase full of Plan B?
What was the upcharge on that? They're pretty expensive as
I don't know. And
at Walgreens.
I would never trust. He's like, Plan B? Cigarettes? Cigars? I'm
We're like, no.
This is a weird.
None of that.
It's
Yeah,
a
they're
weird
probably not.
suitcase.
He's just putting a placebo in that bitch. So the bathroom attendant had given it to one of our guy friends, and he took them. I didn't know this. I didn't know its origin whenever we took it. I'm gonna tell you. And I don't know if I should offer a trigger warning. I really don't know.
Let's just go ahead.
If you've lost a loved one to meth, I am so sorry. I really am. But I have to say this part. I had a great time on meth. I stand by that statement. Why did I say I don't know if you've lost a loved one? Trigger warning, I don't know if you've lost a loved one to meth, but it's a hell of a drug. It's fun as fuck. Like,
The fact that you're like, should I go do a trigger warning? I'm like, absolutely.
you go, might as well. Go ahead, lay it down.
What kind of fucking
3 years
trigger
ago-
warning was that?
We need a lot of trigger. We're like, lay it down. Lay it down.
Let 'em know.
Okay. Actual trip?
No!
The actual trip? I get why it's so addicting.
I do want to say from a sober perspective, when she FaceTimed me, she looked fucking crazy.
I was like, happy. You're like,
she's
no.
like, hey, oh my God, I don't know, I think something's off. I don't know. Her eyes.
The way then and now, I thought you were going to be like, from a FaceTime perspective, you did look like you were having the time of your life. You're like, no, you looked fucking insane.
I will never forget. Like, I remember your pupils were this big. They were the size of
Oh,
a
yeah.
quarter.
I
And
looked
I'm
like, what do you know? A meth head.
Crazy that happened.
Crazy concept. You looked like a meth head.
I don't know. I think I've done something. I don't know. I'm literally like laying in bed. I'm like, oh.
I'm pretty sure I FaceTimed my mom, my dad.
That's
They probably
that's
all
when
were
it
like,
hits and you want to tell everyone you love them.
yeah, they're probably like, you're on drugs. But I had a swell time on the meth. I had a swell time, and here's the kicker, and here's what you should know about meth. I had a great time until I didn't. And then you just don't have a great time. You just don't.
And then guess what? You're still on meth.
You're still on meth and you're not having a good time anymore.
It's just not fun.
You're not having a good time.
That's when you say, I want it to be tomorrow and maybe next Thursday.
I want it to be tomorrow. So my ex and I, who also had taken the Molly meth, we have a fun time. We go to this party. We're having this day party. Then we're
Which you guys kind of don't really know it's meth at the time, right?
No, of course not. And like I said, having a swell time. And I'd never done Molly before, so I wasn't like, whoa, this Molly feels different. I was like, this is Molly and this is fun.
Right. I'm in
cool.
Tulum. Yeah.
Like, I should totally do this next time I go to Coachella. Like, cool.
Coachella.
And so I'm like, I love it. So I have a great time. I'm talking to everyone. I'm just loving it. And then it's nighttime and we're having a good time. And then it's time to go to bed. And I'm like, all the energy is out of my body, right? Like, I'm not having a good time anymore. I don't want to talk to anyone anymore. I just want to go to bed. But I physically, mentally, I cannot. And
the worst.
I took like Adderall. I've never been prescribed Adderall, but in college, like here and there, everyone kind of like gets it from their friend that's prescribed or whatever, pulls an all night or whatever. So I do know the feeling. Oh, and also just like normal things, like I don't know, took Midol by accident that had like 800 milligrams of caffeine, couldn't fall asleep. That was an accident. Whenever I woke up in the middle of the night, had period cramps, I took Midol. I didn't know it had so much caffeine in it. All this to be said, I know what it feels like when you just can't fall asleep, right? You're restless.
Right.
This was not that. This was like, I was just so scared and lonely and I felt so empty. Like I felt like so empty.
That's when your soul slips out your toes.
I was like, is my soul leaving my toenails? But no, and then my ex at the time was like, he couldn't fall asleep either. And we're totally like cuddly people, whatever, but we're also the people that like when it's time to go to bed, we like go to separate. I feel like most normal people are like that. Like who could just cuddle the whole time? It's so hot and sweaty. So anyways, we could not let go of each other. We were so scared and he couldn't fall asleep
That's what me
either.
and Sarah did in this suite.
Yeah.
We were holding each other like
he couldn't fall asleep either, and he was like, I can't sleep, I'm so like scared. And I was like, I'm scared. And then I start thinking automatically, because my brain goes into freak out mode. I'm like, what did we I'm starting to realize I don't think we By the way, I need to say we weren't scared of like being in Tulum. We weren't scared of robbers. We were just like scared. We were like, wait, we're scared. Why are we scared? We couldn't explain why we were scared. We were just like, we're fucking scared. Like he was scared, I was scared. Like we were just like hold each other. Like we don't want to be here anymore. It was so weird.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. We took Molly. Like I think a lot of people take Molly, and I don't think we took Molly. So then I'm like,
You're like,
okay,
we're going on hour 16. I don't think that Molly is Molly.
I don't think this is Molly on hour 16. So I'm like, should I call someone? But then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so humiliated. I'm not going to call the front desk and be like, I think I took Molly, but it might be meth. I don't know. But like, really, I was like, am I going to die? Nothing was happening. Like my heart wasn't beating fast. Nothing was weird was happening with my body. But I just knew my chemical makeup was completely shifted and not correct.
It's not right.
And not correct. And he couldn't fall asleep. And then the couple that we were with in Tulum, we didn't know because I didn't want to bother them. I thought they must have fallen asleep hours and hours ago. I finally texted them. Let's say we went to bed at like midnight, tried to go to bed. I texted them at 5 a.m. and I texted her and was like, I cannot fall asleep. I'm so scared. Tell her the whole rundown like I just told you guys. And she was like, we have not been asleep. We've been holding each other. Like we're so scared. We also like
the worst is when you're scared. I was scared in Sedona.
Yeah, and she was so scared. And we were also scared. So finally we were like, why are we separately sitting in our rooms? Like we should have done this a long time ago. It might have been better for our mental state. So we all go downstairs and we just talk until the sun rises. And all of us were like, yeah, that was not Molly. And it was in fact meth. So anyways, we come home and I'm like stressed out and scared. So I'm like, I'm going to get tested. And I don't care. I'm a grown ass adult. I'm going to tell the doctor I was in Tulum. I took a drug. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we're like, we were roofied.
It came back. It's the meth. It's the meth. And this is how I know I don't really have, people sometimes say like on social media, whatever, I know I'm like posting that I party all the time, whatever. People are like, be careful, we're worried about you, da da da. This is how you know I don't have an addictive personality, because I was like, I never want to do that again. And I know I had such a fun time on it. But that come down was not worth it. Let me tell you guys, meth is not worth it. Don't do meth.
Don't do meth, kids.
Don't do meth.
Stay
it's not
school.
worth it. Stay in school. Don't do meth. I had a terrible time on meth. Just a terrible time. Well, I had a good time on meth, but then I had a terrible time on meth.
It was fun until it just wasn't fun at all.
Yeah, so accidental meth taking is a thing. So I'm going to just stick to alcohol. I'm going to stick to alcohol.
I think I'm sober.
And Grace is like, I'm a nun.
I want you guys to know I'm not drinking right now.
I just joined a monk.
I'm a monk. At this point, I would want to become a monk.
So there we have it. You basically did join a monastery for a while there.
Literally went 2 full years of strict sobriety after that happened.
Literally, she really did. And now we're just like slowly making our way back. Also, I should note that since this episode took place, I have taken Molly. Again, did it wrong the first time. Really, I don't know why I ever tried again, because like Molly and me Molly and me were not like figuring it out, okay? Because I took way too much when I was in Ibiza. But since then, I've taken it correctly. And I will say, just this is an important thing to note. The first time I took Molly, I remember someone opened the bag and handed it to me. And I was like, that's Molly? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, shit, dude. If I had known that, I would have never taken that stuff in Tulum. The stuff in Tulum could not have looked more different than this.
It's like literally crystal meth. You're like, anyways.
No, some bathroom attendant was like, idiota, like fucking stupid gringo. Like, I literally was like, Molly. Like, once I actually saw what Molly looked like, I was like, that we did was absolutely meth. All right, guys, that was Trip of a Lifetime. I'm sweating a little bit, okay? I don't
sweating.
feel the need to like shit my pants or anything, but like I really... that's something that's still, I'm so glad we were able to walk down memory lane with that though, because that's such a funny episode. You're pure comedy gold. I do think we should sell the script to Seth Rogen, and just really great job there, babe. Really great job.
And you know what, I will say, it's been nice listening to this 3 years later, because I didn't feel any anxiety, not even a twinge, not even...
She's worked through it in therapy, guys.
My therapist is really doing an amazing job.
If she listened to this now, she'd be like, girl. Wow. Okay, well, I have to go manically try to figure out my wedding dress, and I love you guys so much.
I love you. I can't wait to... We'll come
happy
back
anniversary.
and do a long one. Happy anniversary. Oh my God. Cute. Okay.
Love you guys.
Mwah.
Thanks for listening. Mwah.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.